Welcome to Share Talk, the only podcast where investors come first.
Hi, this is Zak Mir with the Bulletin Board Heroes here on Share Talk for Monday the 14th of December. Starting off with Argo Blockchain, where looks as though we've got this little break of a December resistance line around 11 pence. End of day close today, tomorrow, at the end of the week, above 11 pence. And we're looking hopefully towards a top of July trend channel target here over the next 4 to 6 weeks, as high as 18 pence. At this stage, only really well below the 10 pence mark, really delaying the upside scenario. Moving along to Barclay Energia, which I believe had some decent news last week and had the push higher after that. But looks like there could be a bit more on its way. We've got this rising trend channel, which you can draw from August, and basically the break of the September resistance line and the near-term triangle there at 30 pence suggests that we could journey towards that August resistance line projection at 80 pence over the next 1 to 2 months, but obviously that's only valid while we hold above the 30 pence zone and the area of the 50-day moving average as well. So some consolidation might be needed, but the longer we remain above that October peak at 38 pence, the greater the chance of an 80 pence target, and perhaps that would be the stop loss area for those who are close to the market. Capex, always a favourite, and certainly been a favourite over the last month or so. Here we see decent progress for the shares, breaking to new December resistance above 8.7 pence. Longer we remain above the initial resistance of this month, the greater the chance of a move towards the top of the rising August trend channel at 14 pence, hopefully by the end of next month. If you're looking for a stop loss, probably the floor of the channel around 6.7 pence would do the trick. Nice to see all the near-term moving averages rising, the 20, 30, 50 and 200 at the moment. So hopefully that will give the situation some momentum. On to a stock which don't cover very much, but here it is today, C4X Discovery, breaking a trend line there from August. That was around the 22 pence level, so end of day closes above that level over the early part of this week. Should be enough to take the shares up to the top of the channel, currently promising as high as 38 pence, hopefully by the end of next month. Only back below the 50-day line and the October uptrend line there at 19 pence, really delaying the bull argument on that situation. Another stock which doesn't get an airing very often, but is here today, Just Group, a nice solid green candle breaking that November resistance line, bouncing off the 20-day line on several occasions over the last week or so as well. That's at 57 pence, and the longer we stay above the 20-day line, the greater the chance of a move towards 80 pence by the end of next month, which is the top of that rising trend channel from September. Stock which doesn't have much charting furniture, let us say, but seems to be on its way now, sort of dithering a bit, waiting for it to break the initial November resistance around 12 pence, but end of day close above that today or over the early part of this week, or even on a weekly close basis, and we could be heading towards the top of a rather creative broadening triangle rather, from August last year, currently pointing as high as 18 pence. So that would be at least a decent initial target. If you're a fan of the shares, maybe you could point to the trend line being there, so pointing to 21 pence, but going for 18 pence first, especially while we remain above the 12 pence level. On to a stock which I think a lot of private investors have been willing higher over the recent past. Obviously a very messy situation for much of the year, not really much going on for media zest, but there's just the first sign that we've broken out of the consolidation that's been there for 2020, and above the 200-day line and above 0.04 pence on a weekly close basis, probably we could start a journey over the next 2 to 3 months heading towards 0.09, which is where the shares were in the summer of 2019. Stop loss obviously back below recent 0.03 pence support for the shares, but obviously that's not a situation for everyone. It's a bit illiquid, to say the least. Rather more liquid and with rather more speculation attached is Premier African. Here we've had was a situation which again I shied away from over recent days, even though it looked as though it was improving. That candle on Friday looked very encouraging indeed, but I wanted to wait for a break of the 50-day moving average. It looks like everybody else was also waiting for that. But above the 50-day line at 0.04 pence, hopefully we could head up towards the top of the broadening July triangle there, up to 0.11 pence. And obviously that would take the shares back to where they were just in May and June. So not difficult to see why there's the excitement there. Obviously the stop loss and support area back below 0.04 pence at the moment. Couldn't resist looking at Rear Bold again, given the way that it's had a very bullish setup, and actually more bullish at the moment than partner stock, let's say Union Jack, has been. We've got the island reversal, bear trap island reversal, which is very strong. Strong signal, charting signal that is, and also broken above the 50-day and 200-day moving averages of 0.55. While we're above those that particular level, then we should be heading higher. If you want confirmation that we're on our way towards a 1 penny target, then you're looking for an end of day or a weekly close above 0.63, which is roughly where we are at the moment over the near term. If we can get that, then hopefully the shares over the next 1 to 2 months could hit the 1 pence area at the top of the August trend channel. Finishing off with Saryam. Here we've got a situation where the shares have certainly broken that line of resistance from October with a gap, which is normally a positive, and also gap through the 50-day moving average, which is rising. It's another positive. So above the 50-day line at 1.55, looking for higher prices. Ideally just retesting the October resistance area at 2.5 pence plus. We've got the top of the channel from October pointing towards 2.8, but obviously that looks rather ambitious at the moment. At this stage, anyway, back below Friday's high at 1.35, really delaying the upside scenario for Saryam. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.
Thank you for listening. Remember to visit our website for more news and other podcasts at www.share-talk.com.